The wind just did pick this thing up like a sail. You can see how big it is. And literally from underneath, the wind just picked it up and lifted this thing up and over my car. So, all right, this is my open road 180-degree awning, and it is usually mounted on the side of my vehicle like this. However, the day before I decided to drive from New Mexico all the way over to Florida to spend the holidays with my family, I had my awning deployed in this really nice spot I was staying at out in Carlsbad, New Mexico. And a sudden gust of wind came and took that awning up and over my car. Because when the awning's deployed, it's very big and it just acted like a sail. The wind caught up from underneath it and just literally lifted it up over my car. And let me show you what happened to the bars that were mounting the awning to the top of the car. So this is one of the metal bars that would hold the awning to the side of the car. You basically would mount it kind of like this. This is the back side of the awning. And there's these tracks where there's some screws would lay in. You mount it right here, and then this side right here would get mounted to the top of the vehicle, like on your crossbars. And then that way the awning just kind of hangs off the side of the vehicle. Now this is probably about a 1/4 inch steel plate, and I'm going to show you what happened to the two that were holding this awning on the side of my vehicle when that thing got lifted and up over my vehicle. So that is what these used to look like. Look at that. It just literally curved it like a wave. Isn't that wild? I mean, that's a steel plate. Like I know it's gonna not come out on video very well, but that is a steel plate and just curved, and I actually have two of them like that. Here's the other one. So obviously they're supposed to be straight. And again, this side right here would be mounted to the back side of the awning. And then the part that's currently curved would be flat and would be sticking onto the crossbar. And again, it would hold the vehicle. So it's supposed to be something like that. And this is what happened to these two. Now, luckily when it happened near a spot where there were some other campers, and somebody near me actually saw it happen, and he helped me get the awning back up over my car, and we put it away. And it doesn't look like the awning itself got messed up. It looks like just the plates got messed up. So I reached out to Open Road, the company who made this awning, and I told them a scenario, and they were kind enough to send me 3 more of these. And if you can see how much thicker this is compared to the old ones. So this is the new ones right here. Look how much thicker that is than this. So hopefully this will prevent it from happening again. Now, I absolutely love having this awning. An awning is always something I was looking at my rig whenever I was setting up my whole entire setup. But it's just, I didn't think it was very feasible. And one of the things that I realized once I got this awning is that it really messed with my setup, because on either side of my vehicle, I had these plates holding water tanks on one side and a propane tank on the other side. And unfortunately, having that awning interferes with the brackets that hold either the water tanks on the passenger side of the vehicle or the gas tank on the driver's side of the vehicle. So something always had to come off, and I really hated having to take the water tanks down, because those Rotopax water containers are very big and bulky, and that meant that keeping them no longer outside the vehicle, I now had to put them inside the vehicle just so I can have this awning on the car. It meant that those water containers were just taking up a lot of space. So I never really liked the setup. So I always wanted to, when I came back to Florida, is figure out a way to get the awning back on there, but still have the water on there. And I really was hoping that I could figure out a way to get the awning on there with the water on there and the propane tank on there. But unfortunately, something's just gonna have to go. My car's just not set up for all this stuff on the top of it. It's a Subaru Forester. It's not a 4Runner. So I decided to go ahead and take the plate that's holding my propane tank on the side of my vehicle for cooking off, and I'll show you why. Okay, so the first thing I did is I took off the gas tank, obviously, and I'm gonna have to put that up there in the roof box. I actually have 2 of them, so let me open this up real quick, show you. So I have 2 of those propane tanks up there. That's because, you know, one always empties right in the middle of cooking. So I like having an extra one, so that way if I'm in the middle of cooking and one runs out, then I can just use the other one and finish up my meal, and then the next day or 2 go get the other one filled up. So I do like having 2 of them, and luckily there is enough space up there that it fits both of them. I really loved having it mounted on the side here. It was just a really easy convenience. You know, when I was doing the build out for this car, I was really thinking about where am I going to put the propane tank. And I knew that I had those two 5-pound propane tanks and I wanted to use both of them for, like I said, because you just never know when one's going to run out. But they're big and they're bulky and it's gas. So I didn't want to put it in the car and leave it there when I'm sleeping or just driving, because then you have a propane tank in the car, possibly leaking gas in the middle of while you're sleeping or driving. And I didn't think that was very safe. Plus they're just very big and bulky. So I always knew that I had the roof box, I could put them up there. But because they're so big and bulky and I had that roof box filled with so much other stuff, that's when I came up with a solution to mount it here on the side. And I really loved that, because I would have the one up here that I was always cooking with. And once that one ran out, I would just swap it for the one that was in the box that was always filled, and then just kind of just always rotated them. But with the awning, I just can't do that. It's just not enough space to put the awning and the propane tank. So my best solution right now is to keep the propane tanks up in the roof box, so that way I can mount the awning right here. So here is the passenger side of my vehicle, and this right here is where I had the awning set up. And I know it's really hard because I can't have the awning up there and have this up there, and the awning's way too heavy to hold with one hand. But see this plate right here? So this plate right here is what holds my water containers on the side. So here's one of my water containers, my Rotapacks, and what they do is they get mounted on the side here, because this thing is big and bulky and I have two of them, and keeping that in the car is just a lot of space. So I love having them mounted here on the side. But this plate thing that holds the water container on sticks up quite tall right here. And see this right here? This is my crossbar, and that is where the awning is laying. And if you can see that this goes up so high that I couldn't have the awning lay on there. This thing was just too high, it interfered with the awning. And it did that on the other side as well. This is the side where I had the propane tank on. All right, so the first step I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take this plate off. So I need to start unscrewing all the things that are holding this thing on. All right, so that's off now. Now I just gotta take this bracket here, and that's how these things mount. It's like a big L bracket that mounts to your crossbar here, right, with some U-bolts. That's what's holding this thing on, some U-bolts. And then once that plate is attached to here, then it's got like a suction cup on the back of it. I just have to clean it off. But that suction cup then gets, kind of, you press this down and it'll pull it in closer to the window. These things are awesome. I do love these. Orbis Overlanding. I'm not sponsored by them. I had to buy these with my own money, and I absolutely love them. They've been really great. I hate to give this thing up, I really do. But I really would like to have the awning back on the car, so I'm gonna put that in storage. All right, I finally got the plate that was holding that mounting plate here on the side that had my propane tank. I got all the parts off of that. Really messed up my car. It might just be dirt. I can wipe it off a little bit. But the next step is I'm now going to take these mounting brackets. I need to push back the roof box a little bit. But these mounting brackets for the awning are now going to go across my crossbar right here. So I need to push this, loosen this up, and push it to the other side to have enough room. But that's going to mount here, and then the other one's going to mount right there. And then the awning will mount right here where these 4 holes are. All right, same situation, different date. I don't even know where I really left off in the little video update about this whole awning situation I'm dealing with. It's been like 2 days or so since I filmed anything. It's been quite a ordeal to mess with this thing. The kind of short story of it all is that I had to go to 2 different hardware stores to get some nuts and bolts to mount this thing down. Ended up not needing any of it. Ended up stripping 2 or 3 nuts and bolts together. It's just been a big ordeal. It's been a big hassle. And on top of all that, after I got the awning plates up there, I now have realized that I can no longer use my road shower. Like, it just won't fit, and I am just kind of over it. But I'll show you my situation real quick. All right, so here on the passenger side is where the awning is going to go, and it's not up yet because I need some help lifting it up. It's quite heavy. It's about 70 pounds, and so I'm waiting for my brother to come home to help me lift it up. But what's going to happen is these plates right here, which I've all screwed down to the crossbars on the top of the car, that's what's going to hold the awning up. So the awning is going to run right there, and once I get it up, I'll do a quick little video of showing you it out. But at the same time, what I was hoping to get up there is my road shower. And if you don't know what a road shower, that's a road shower. A road shower is a steel tube. This one is a 4-gallon model, although they make like 7, I think maybe even 11-gallon models. And what it is, it's a steel tube that when you mount it on top of your car, water inside of it, you put water inside of it, and then the sun beats down this black steel tube and heats that water up. And you can see there's like a thermometer gauge on the side, and then you can pressurize the water with like a bike pump. I use an electric pump. And then there is a connector right here where you can connect a hose, and you can take a shower on the side of the road. I used to use this in like national forests and things like that when I was camping a lot, and it's been 4 or 5 days since I've had a shower. Fill this up with water, let the sun beat down for a day, and then again you have a shower that you can use out in wilderness. The problem is that does not fit up there with the awning and the way these awning plates are. These awning plates are quite thick, and I don't have long enough bolts to strap this thing down to here. And I'm over the whole ordeal. Like, I could go to the store and get longer bolts. So this right here, I've kind of tightened them down. So you can't really tell, but see that right there? This obviously would come down quite a bit, and it's a U shape. So that way you sandwich the top of the road shower on top of the crossbars, and then of the car, and then this U-bolt right here would go below the crossbars, and that kind of sandwich it together. There's another one down here. Oh, I'm getting the shade. So there's another one right there, and again I've just tightened them down to go all the way down because I'm about to put this back in my storage bin. So long story short, I had to give up this, and I had to give up my propane tank on the side, which is what I used to cook. But I did put the propane tank up there in the roof box. So now I have 2 propane tanks up there in the roof box. I just have to get one down every time I want to cook. It's not that big of a hassle. But the thing that I'm really happy about is I now have my roto packs, my water containers mounted back on the side of my car. And for me, this was more essential to have this out of the car because these things are just quite big. And having that in the car just took up so much space. And another thing I really love about this is, see this little spout I put on here? This way, when this is filled up with water, all I have to do is open this up and turn this, and water gravity just comes right out of this. And this was so convenient to like wash my hands, or to get a little drink of water, or just get a little water on my toothbrush or something like that before I crawl into the car at night. And these were not mounted on the side of the car because I didn't have room before. The awning was affecting it. So that was really the whole thing. I really want to get these back on here, but long story short, I could get these on here, but I had to give up my road shower, and I had to give up my propane tanks. All right, well, this is my awning, fully deployed, me using it. I just think this is just such a nice thing to have. I mean, I am literally outside every single day, and to be able to use this on just a really bright day to escape from the sun for a little bit. I have sat out here with my chair and my table and my laptop and worked for hours on end with this thing above me, giving me a good shade. Also in just a light sprinkle. This is completely weatherproof material. In a light snow or light sprinkle, you could have this out and totally be fine. Probably wouldn't want to be out and using it in a heavy rainstorm. First off, the wind. I mean, that's kind of what got me in this predicament in the first place. The wind just did pick this thing up like a sail. You can see how big it is. And literally from underneath, the wind just picked it up and lifted this thing up and over my car. So you definitely wouldn't want to have this thing open in a big windstorm or rainstorm. But if you're not familiar with how this thing deploys and works, I'll show you. It literally takes like a minute to open it up. So let me put it up real quick, turn off the camera, and I'll show you how I get it out and use it. So this is what the awning looks like, obviously before it's deployed. It just hangs off the side of the car, and it's gonna come with everything you need. It's got the mounting hardware to mount it up there, and it even comes with this bag here, which will come with some rope and some other tie down straps that you'll need so that when it's open, you can tie it down to the hood of the car or to the back of the car. So I'll show you that in a second. But super easy to deploy and use. Takes about 1.5 minutes to get it going. So just unzip it. Once it's unzipped, just fold this back, and there's some straps here, which are gonna hold the awning up out of the way while you're traveling. Just undo those with Velcro. And then the awning itself is kind of laid out, and you'll see how this just kind of folds out. So once it's unzipped and unraveled, then you're gonna wanna push the top of it back. This is when you're gonna want your first tie down strap. They got one for the back and one for the front. So the back one, undo that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just get the front one connected to the car. So here's the front one. I'm gonna use my first strap. There's tie down hooks at the very top of the awning. Just walk this back. So we'll walk it over to the side, and this is gonna just connect to the other side of the car. So this tie down strap has a hook on the end, and I just use it, tie it right there, it holds the awning back very well. So now the first part is out. Now Open Road will give you a couple different ways to connect the awning to the car to pull it back and open it up all the way. I use one of them towards the front, and I use the other one, this rope, towards the back, because this is longer and Open Road will give you this. And I'll show you that this is like kind of like a ratchet strap. I'll be able to tighten this up a lot when I get it towards the back, which is really nice because I'll show you how I have to loosen this up a lot when the awning's open to get to my tailgate area when I want to open up the tailgate area. But just like the front, here there's this hook. You're gonna take this hook on the rope and you're gonna hook it in there, and then just pull the awning back, and that's how you open or close the awning with the rope. Now the cool thing about this orange rope that Open Road will give you is this pulley system has got a really easy way to tighten it up. Just pull it, or there's a little release mechanism here on the back, and this is how you're gonna loosen it up. So pull it, you'll hear it clicking. Trying to make sure it's all in camera at the same time pulling it, but there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie this down to the other side of the car. So just walk it back, take the other end of the rope, tie it to something on the other side of the vehicle. So the way I like to use this orange one on the back is I'll just hook it to something here on the back, and then just tighten this down, and that's it. And then when I need to loosen it up, again, just pull that lever, push that lever, and it loosens up the rope, and it's easy for me to unhook this. But let's go ahead and tighten it back up. And that's it, you've got shade. This is a freestanding awning, so I don't even need to put any extra legs down or anything, but there are some built-in legs right here, I'll show you. So as mentioned, this is a freestanding awning, meaning it needs no additional support to keep it open and use it, especially on a really nice calm day like today. There's basically no wind at all. But if you want to, there are some built-in legs here. They fold down, and you just kind of put them down on the ground, and they just kind of screw to tighten up. And there's one on the front too. Okay, so this is the front one, so we'll do the same thing. It just clips down there, let it go, and then just twist to lock. And voila, you've got 180 degrees of shade. Now the really cool thing I love about Open Road awnings is that they have these built-in lights right here that give you complete light outside. And this has 3 different modes on it. It has a warm tone, a cool tone, and then it kind of has a mix of both. And these pull only about 2 watts of power. I'll just plug it up to my Anchor portable power station, and you could essentially leave them on all night and shouldn't drain your battery depending on your battery. As long as you didn't have 1 or 2% battery, you should be fine. But I love this thing. All right, well, that's it for this one. Until next time, thanks for escaping normal life with me.